Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we will present our business proposal. Our group members are Nur Aqilah, Nur Haryani, Nur Kamalia and Nur Shahana Nadia. This is the logo used for our business. It signifies our trademark, signature and branding.
Hi and hello everyone, we are Totally Pies, who majors in selling cottage pie. So, our business has come up with the tagline, Totally Pies makes you totally over the skies. So how do we come up with this business? Miss Aqilah, the founder of this business, went on a vacation to England and that's how she found out the original recipe of cottage pie. She, Miss Aqilah and three of us, Miss Haryani, Miss Kamalia and me myself, Miss Shahana, agreed to introduce the original recipe of cottage pies to Malaysia. We believe each of us has our own experience, ability and specialty in managing this business. So, what is our mission and vision of this business? So, we have the mission to serve high quality and authentic cottage pies in Malaysia. We wish that society get to taste the freshness of our cottage pies at an affordable price. We also have the vision to become the biggest seller of cottage pies in Malaysia and come up with our own Malaysian recipe that could be marketed all around the world.
Here are the partners of Totally Pies. The first one is the founder of this business, which is Miss Nur Aqilah. Miss Nur Aqilah has various experience as she was active in opening car boot sales at institutions and events. She majors in accountancy, hence she will be in charge as financial manager. The next one is Miss Nur Haryani. She also majors in accountancy. She has huge experience in recruiting people and students for clubs and events, hence she will be the human resource manager. The third partner is Miss Nur Shahana, who also majored in accountancy. She has the experience in working at famous bakery, hence she is able to ensure smooth operation. She is the operation manager. Last but not least is Miss Nur Kamalia, who will be in charge in marketing as marketing manager. Just like the rest of us, she also majored in accountancy. She believes marketing is an essential element in business. The price of each cottage pie is RM3.50 for the size of 9.6 cm times 4 cm and times 6.5 cm. Additional RM1 is needed to add extra cheese. So, how are they made? The process of making cottage pies starts with boiling some potatoes for an hour depending on the volume of the potatoes to achieve perfectly boiled and mushy potato. Next, the potatoes will be mashed until it becomes smooth and creamy. Then, the main ingredients will be mixed together with the potatoes to ensure the consistency of the taste. Cheese are poured at the top of the pie as the finishing and lastly, put it in the oven to bake at appropriate duration and temperature.
Just like I mentioned, we are majoring in selling cottage pies in Malaysia with various fillings. Our main attraction, of course, the original recipe from England. And also, other than that, we also have other fillings such as beef and tomato sauce, chicken and mushroom. Vegetarians are also not forgotten as we have fillings like spinach and mozzarella and also potato and carrot. Our product has a strange that has authentic taste from England, and other than that, we also come up with various fillings that could suit the taste of Malaysian and also vegetarians. On the other hand, we also provide services, delivery services to functions and events. So that's all from me. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haryani Binti Yusof. I will explain the market segmentation, market size and also market share. Before we determine our market share, we must to know first our market size based on the competitor analysis. So our competitor are a Pie Ting, Mr. Pie Man and also Pie Kingdoms. From this analysis, we managed to know the minimum and the maximum price for every competitors, and also the last row, we can see that is the average price for every competitors. This is the market size. We already identify our competitor sales for every year. So from the table, before we enter into the market, we can see that a Pie Ting has the highest sales, followed by the Pie Kingdom, and lastly is Mr. Pie Man. However, we also must take a look at the average price. Market share is derived from sales divided by the total sales in the industry and times with the 100%. So, from the table, we can see that the average price for Mr. Pie Man is higher as compared to the Pie Kingdoms. This is the market share before and after Totally Pies enter into the markets. We can see that after we enter into the market, we will hold 15% of the market share. These are our competitors and their market share. The first one is a pie thing will hold 35% of market share. They are a famous cafe that serve the best dessert pie in towns. The price range is from 11 ringgit to 22 ringgit. The next one is a Mr. Pie Man's. They serve a pie in a various size and flavor. So the price range is from 5 ringgit to 50 ringgit based on the size that the customer choose. And the last one is the Pie Kingdom. We hold 20% of the market share. They have a famous pie which is a lamb stew pie, and the price range is from the 9 ringgits to 12 ringgits. Our market segmentation are based on these categories: demographic segment, psychographic segment, behavioral segments, and geographic segment. Under the segments, it gives information of people like their age, gender, income, and also education. As for our target customer, there are no specific age or gender in order to have our pie. Both male and female can have our pie. And then we focus to the middle and lower income groups. This is aligned with our focus in order to have a product that is a lower in cost. Under the segment, we focus to customer characteristic and personality such as belief, interest, value, and also lifestyle. Our target customer must have a unique lifestyle since our pie is inspired from English but have some element of Asians. Then, person who have a healthy lifestyle also can have our pie since it is less in calorie. Our target customer also must be a cheesy lover, and also vegetarian person also can have our special pie. And then, under this segment, the first one is the purchase behavior. People tend to buy something that is cheap and affordable, so we will try to make our pie less expensive as compared to the other pie. As for the social proof, our customer will give review and feedback on our website. We also provide a delivery services to our customer using Foodpanda and Grabs. And lastly, we will give discount to customer that make an order for any events or occasions in a large volume of order. Lastly, under this segment, we already decided to make our business and to develop our business in a city area which is Putrajaya. We believe that this area is a busy area since there are a lot of housing area and workplace. Many visitors and foreigners also visit this place.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Kamalia and I will continue the presentation with the business strategy. A business strategy can be defined as the combination and decisions taken and actions performed by the business to accomplish the business goal and objective and secure a competitive position in the market. It is the backbone of the business as it is the roadmap that leads to the desired goal. Any fault found in this roadmap can result in the business getting lost in the crowd of overwhelming competitors. Entry strategies used by the new ventures take several forms. They include the pioneering new entry, imitative new entry, and also adaptive new entry. The idea of the new entry or the entry which describes several approaches that firm may take to get a foothold in the market. Michael Porter has developed 3 generic strategies that a company can use to gain the competitive advantage back in 1980s. There are overall cost leadership, differentiation, and also focus. The focus strategy involves focusing on a narrow, defined segment of the market, also called as the niche market. The competitive advantage are either by the cost or by differentiation is created especially for the niche. Totally Pies has decided to implement the adaptive strategy to their cottage pie business. Adaptive entry refers to a business entry into an industry by offering a product or services that is new and sufficient to differentiate itself in creating value for customers by capitalizing on the latest market trend. Totally Pies offer cottage pies that are sufficiently different from existing pies to create new value for customers such as brand loyalty, unique recipe, and capture a place in the market share. This business is adaptive because we are well informed of the marketplace circumstances and implement entry strategies that focus on capitalizing on the latest trend. It is what the market demand in large. An adaptive new entry takes an existing idea where the idea of pies has existed from many years before. However, the tastiness and exquisite recipe of cottage pies have made us want to adapt it to our country. Finally, is to keep the idea of cottage pie fresh. It is ample to improvise on an existing flavor or examine different textures in a stable environment. The figure below shows the growing and consumption rate of pie from the year 2019 and how the market is growing over time. Some restaurants have verified that the demand of pie is popular among the customers. An adaptive new entry approach does not revolve on reinventing the wheel, but using the substantial idea and adapt it to a particular situation instead. Cost-focused leadership generic strategy. This strategy is often associated with small businesses because there is a natural fit between the narrow scope of the strategy and the small size of the firm. Our pies will generally be primary, vaguely similar to other cottage pies in the market where the price is higher. They will be acceptable to a sufficient number of customers to make a profit. On the next point, we have set our market segmentation to demographic, psychographic, behavioral, and also geographic. How to compete? Young firms can often succeed best by finding a market niche where they can get a foothold and make small advances that erode the position of existing competitors. From this position, they can build a name for themselves and grow. Totally Pies can remain competitive by seeking to develop a lower cost advantage but only within focused market segment. How to remain competitive? To remain competitive, our pies must be valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and costly to substitute. The attributes must be valuable in order to be considered resources and potential sources of competitive advantage. Valuable resources enable us to formulate and implement strategies that improve efficiency and effectiveness. If competitors or potential competitors possess the same valuable resource, it is not a source of competitive advantage unless it is uncommon or rare. Being difficult to imitate is the key to value creation because it constrains the competition. Having a resource that competitors can easily copy generates only temporary value. Non-substitutability means there is no strategically equivalent valuable resources that are themselves not rare or inimitable. Lastly, Michael Porter claimed that entrepreneurs who intend to hedge their bet by following other people's strategy may not benefit their businesses, as different businesses require different approaches. Therefore, it is vital for a business to take into account its competency and also strength. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Aqilah binti Shamsul and I am going to proceed with the financial plan of the business. The source of finance needed to start the business was obtained through equal contribution from each member, where the capital was collected from each member's personal savings. Hence, no loans or funding from external financial institutions was taken to start the business. The total amount of capital that the business managed to obtain was 40,000 ringgit, and the capital is used for pre-operating expenditure, purchase of fixed asset, and as a capital to purchase direct materials and other direct costs needed for production in the first month of business. The amount of direct material required to produce a unit of cottage pie is 96 cents. Our monthly sales volume target is 9,600 units of cottage pies, but we assume that we will have a closing inventory of 50 units to meet any additional last-minute order demand. Therefore, 9,650 direct materials are necessary for monthly production, where the total cost of purchase needed for direct material will be 9,264 ringgit. Shown in the above table is the direct expenses incurred in producing a unit of cottage pies. The expenses is for aluminum cups, which is used as a base for the cottage pies. The price per pack for the aluminum cups is 10 ringgit and 90 cents, which is sufficient for 250 units of cottage pies. Hence, after calculating the cost per unit of pie and multiplying it with our production unit, the total monthly direct expenses for the aluminum cups will be 386 ringgit, which is also reflected in the budgeted income statement. Moving on to the direct labor budget, the required production is 9,650 units, and one labor hour can produce 40 units of pies. Therefore, by multiplying the required productions with the labor rate per unit, we will get the overall labor cost of 2,412 ringgit and 50 cents. Next, moving on to the overhead cost budget, the overhead rate per unit is 1 ringgit and 3 cents, where the amount is obtained by dividing the total overhead cost of 9,945 ringgit and 56 cents with the production units of 9,650 units. However, when computing the required overhead cost, the amount of 1 ringgit and 3 cents will be multiplied with the targeted sales volume of 9,600 pies. This is because the overhead cost is fixed and will not be affected by the production number of pies. Next, moving on to the budgeted income statement. The budgeted income statement indicates the potential monthly profit. As we targeted to sell 320 pieces of pies daily and 9,600 pieces monthly, the number of sales volume unit will multiplied by the price of pies, which is 3 ringgit and 50 cents per unit, brings a revenue of 33,600 ringgits monthly. The budgeted profit of 11,643 ringgits and 47 cents is then derived after deducting direct costs and fixed costs from the sales revenue. The table shows the initial targeted sales and profit for our product. The budgeted profit obtained through the budgeted income statement shown earlier is lesser than the targeted profit by 10 ringgit and 97 cents. This variance is due to the amount of closing inventory in the direct material budget, where we allocated 50 extra direct materials to meet any last-minute order demand. This results in excess production, where we have to produce 9,650 units of cottage pies monthly. However, as the difference is immaterial, the amount of budgeted profit is still acceptable. That is all from me. Thank you.